Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. How are we all doing? Welcome to 2025. I don't know how long we keep saying that. I think every new phone call I keep saying Happy New Year, but we're already at the 9th of January. Probably be saying it for the rest of the month. I hope you all had a great Christmas, a great break. I hope you either took it upon yourself or some trainings that you're perhaps involved in with me or a mentor to reflect on 2024, to then take some time to go, where am I heading in 2025? Where does Shopley fit into those goals, that vision, that passion, that income? And that's what, I don't just do it at the end of the year. I kind of do it every 90 days. I think the end of the year thing is great, but it's kind of an excuse that people make a New Year's resolution, but by the time 1st of February comes around, everyone's back into the rat race. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get fit. I own gyms for 10 years. And I always thought, as a young person, when I first came into the fitness, I was about 22 when I owned my first gym. I kind of thought by, a couple of years in, the human species would have worked out that, if I just go to the gym in January, I'm not going to get the body that I want for the rest of my life. And so they'll start getting fit in winter. They'll go through February, March. They'll be consistent. But every single year for 10 years, you could not move in the gym in January. Like, you couldn't move. People get so frustrated at how packed it was. 1st of February, you could see those tumbleweeds going down the aisle of the gym. There was like crickets in there every single year. That's humans. That's how we're programmed, right? Turn your videos on, guys. If you can, I want to see your lovely faces. You got to have a ridiculously amazing excuse to not have your camera on, and you need to put it into writing and send it in through to the 1300 number on why you can't have your camera on. Jason, good to see you there, brother. Back into it. So I see some familiar faces. I see some new faces. I see faces that were in and then dropped off and then we're back. And look, the whole key to being successful at anything, the gym, the fitness, is to rock up again in February, March, and April, May, and June. That's how you're going to get fit and healthy. That's how you're going to get rich and wealthy. And so consistency is the key. But again, in my 25, 27 years of entrepreneurship, consistency is one of the most easy things to understand, and people get it. It's not like an algebra equation, but one of the least amount of things that people see through. And it's kind of crazy to me. Really, really crazy to me. I get we all have good days and bad days. You're allowed to have good days and bad days. You're allowed to have a Wednesday. And if you follow The Rock on Instagram, he calls it a fuck it day. It's like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to go and eat a burger and some fries. You're allowed to have those days, but you can't dwell for too long. You can't dwell for a week. You can't dwell for a month. You can't dwell for a year. We got to get back up. And if you can take full responsibility for everything that's happening to you, you have superpowers, right? If you're blaming the government, if you're blaming a new outbreak in China, if you're blaming the economy, if you're blaming interest rates, you have no superpowers, because if you're blaming everybody else for your circumstance, how can you ever change it? It's when you put your hand up and go, I didn't choose that to happen, so how can I accept it? But at the end of the day, you still get to choose how you react to it. And so here we are in 2025. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with your fitness, your health, your relationships, spiritual? What are you going to do with Shopley? And I just want to take you through a little bit of a journey today on, it's something I haven't really spoken about too much, but I've been in direct sales since I was 19. I made millions of dollars. Key is all the things we're speaking about. Set the goals, write them down, read them out as if they've already happened. I can't tell you how powerful that is. And you know what? Part of my reflection at the end of 2024 was, this will amaze some of you guys and maybe disappoint some of you guys. But I didn't even have goals written up on my wall for the whole of 2024 for the first time in 2 decades. And, I had my Shopley goals. I mean, I'm just a competitive beast. So if I'm going to join Shopley, I'm going to the top. That's just what I do. But I was in a situation where, I'm hedging my bets. Well, what am I going to do? I know I want to do Shopley. I'm all in on Shopley. I'm 10 years in on Shopley. What are the other things that I'm wanting to do? And, we kind of got ourselves into a situation of being comfortable, of, not having to worry about money and so forth. And the absolute disease that kicks in is being comfortable. You either want to be rock bottom because that's motivational, or you want to be driving to the top. If you're comfortable, you're rotting the whole time. You're either ripe or you're rotting, right? And so I kind of got into that stage where that's the beautiful thing about reflecting is, okay, let's start to think much, much bigger. here are my shopping goals, here are my fitness goals, here's all the other stuff I'm doing, and you should see my goal sheet sitting up on my wall right now. Like it's insane. So that's the beautiful thing about refreshing a calendar year, right? But do it every single 90 days. And what I did in my company that I made millions of dollars with is I had goals written down, pinned up, and I read them out loud every single day as if they were like done. And in the end, my subconscious just made it happen, in under 3 years. But what really helped us, along with that consistency, that skill level, that work ethic, was the opportunity that I chose to get involved in at that particular point in time. So they were great products. The company was run well. All the things that we're looking for in an opportunity like in Shoply. And what happened in 2008, Obama made the research and usage of stem cells legal, because what they found was through adipose tissue, so through our body fat, essentially. Hands up if you've got a little bit of body fat you wouldn't mind donating, a bit of liposuction, right? So through your body fat, stomach, hips, stem cells are readily available in adipose tissue. Previous to that, we're talking about umbilical cords, embryonic stem cell research, which are very, very powerful as well. But the ethics, the ethics are just way too controversial for good reason. But once they found stem cells readily available in body fat, well, the gates opened up. This is 2008. So this article is a 2009 article. Obama overturns Bush policy on stem cell research. And hands up again, if you know how powerful stem cells are in the human body, you've done even the incy-bincy bit of research in health, wellness, or you've just been not living under a rock. Athletes now, stem cells out into your knee, regrowing cartilage, regrowing breast tissue, all sorts of amazing things. Diabetes, right? Stem cell therapy versus type 1 diabetes. So I think we're all understanding of how amazing stem cells are. This was the key term in my last company where I made millions of dollars. So the media and influencers, the health world and doctors, this is all they've been talking about for, the last 2 decades was stem cells. And so by the time I spoke to someone about our nutrition products with stem cells, our skincare products with stem cells, people were just like, shut up and take my money. So I'm not saying it was the reason, but it really, really helped me to build. I didn't have to educate someone on crypto or whatever it might have been. And so what I'm excited about now is everything that Shoply has going for it. Kind of, I see it forming a similar circumstance, and the world is really only just waking up to the news on this live commerce stuff, right? So if you go back and look at some of the articles, you can start to see that different entrepreneurial magazines, it's becoming live stream. Gary Vee's been on a few live stream interviews over in the US talking about live commerce. What retailers in Asia Pacific and US need to know, because they're saying learn from some of the mistakes that China's made, but also learn from how amazing it's been. So in China, it's almost at the point of saturation in China, and we're only just discovering. It's quite a unique sort of situation. So live commerce, it's Showtime, how live commerce is transforming the shopping experience. I mean, it's everywhere now in the media with influencers. I've shown the Gary Vee videos 100 times. You can go and look at them for yourself. That's all he's going to be talking about in 2025 is live commerce. Accenture puts it at $1 billion industry this year. So we are on a trend, which just helps. It just helps you to push the boulder down a hill rather than push the boulder up a hill. So we can achieve things in the next 12 months that perhaps other people in the direct sales industry aren't going to be able to achieve, because they're not doing the affiliate model. They're not doing the influencer model. They're not paying people to bring product to the platform. All the different things that we know we're doing with live commerce. So I just wanted to share that with you. It wasn't the reason that Jeunesse did $1 billion in 6 years. It wasn't the reason I made millions of dollars, but it was a reason. And here we are again. And what corporate are doing at Shoply right now is super, super exciting. So pre-launch is here, guys. Let me know if you're a little bit excited about Shoply 2.0. Let me jump into the chat. Law of vibration, absolutely big believer in that. Woo! Thanks, Zachy, for jumping on, though. Appreciate that, brother. Loving your live videos too, Zach, and with all the products. Absolutely loving it. Setting the example. Yep, thanks, Jace. Awesome, guys. So Shoply 2.0. I'm really excited by this. I think the great thing about Nick as a president of the company, he's basically a field leader. He's basically a networker like us. So he gets it from being an owner and also a distributor. So it's not like he's sitting up there in the White House in a suit and tie, never been in the field getting rejected before. He understands the field. And so he's always looking at it from that perspective, as well as, a corporate person in the company. So here are some of the things that they've been able to break through and some of the things that are coming is, the KYC has been a little bit of a slower hold up for vendors, and sometimes the influencer pros get frustrated on the pace of them coming through. So they've been able to cut that time basically in half. So what Rod kind of found out was, oh, I thought when we were at LaCour Enterprises, we had to do this, 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 and this. I thought that was like one of the LaCour rules. And then Terry's like, nah, you don't have to do that. If you can get around that, get around it. And then Rod thought, oh, I thought this was actually USA law that we had to do that. And the legal team said, no, it's not law. You don't have to do. And so they've been able to not do this, not do that, shortcut that, break through that. And so they've been able to find ways to get KYC approved much, much faster just from experience, just from trial and error with so many vendors coming through. So we've cut that down to, 2 to 4 weeks now. That's going to get cut down very, very soon to 2 to 4 days. Can you imagine? So, we're going to be able to bring on vendors easily and quicker. So that's already there and only getting faster and faster and stronger as we go. As we launch into 2.0, and I'll show you some dates in a minute, there's a leadership retreat on in Miami, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th of January. As we come out of that, you'll start to get the full details of this. In fact, I had just a one-on-one call with Nick yesterday. He shared some stuff with me that I'm not allowed to share. I hate when that happens. It's like, I am such a sharer. So I'm going to try and tell you guys in a way today that's like not going to get me in trouble, but also get you a little bit excited. A lot of stuff they've tried to sort of tease out, but might take it a little bit further. But I got off that call very excited, so on the right path. Are we going to want to happen all quicker? Do we want it all to happen like all at once tomorrow? Yes. Is that going to happen? No. But we're so heading in the right direction. So coming out of that leadership event, you can start to see even better, homepage and different shoply.com templates. Emails, my goodness, we're going to get emails. How exciting. So when you order a product, you'll get an email. Here's the confirmation. Here's your tracking number. Here's your invoice. Yes, you did buy something. Hey, don't forget there's a Zoom call on, leadership call on. Hey, we've got a leadership retreat on, blah, blah, blah. So email system will be up and running. Getting started training we're putting together at the moment as well. So that might be, just after the event. So putting all that together. So when a new person comes on, it's not just like, oh, here's the shoply.com website. Here's your link, knock yourself out. So we will start to do that within our group. Every team will have their little specific ways that they believe, but as a company, we will have a generic, just stuff that we know that works, black and white stuff that works. It's across the board. And then we'll add our own little experiences in there. So it's like, you know what, sign up to this level. Okay, I want you to pick a vendor on a bundle. Let's go live right now. See that little link there? I want you to copy it. I want you to put it on your Facebook. We're going to go live together and we're going to talk about this product that you're passionate about. And you're going to get your first sale in the first hour. Let's go. And then we're going to go do this. And this is how you tap into the calls. And so just getting like a blueprint for a new person to come in 30 days. So they know exactly what they're doing and we get them in the money really, really quickly. New vendor features will come out pretty quickly from that leadership event. So it's not that you shouldn't continue to have a Facebook group or a Telegram chat. I still think they're important just for communications, but within the vendor page, you'll be able to train up your team. And as we get bigger and bigger and bigger and Shoply gets bigger, that'll become super important. Even, for customers that are coming on and learning about the products, but you'll be able to go into a little tab. It's going to be called like training or education or whatever it's going to be called. And you'll be able to put all your science videos and how-to videos and getting started and, showing around your back office and, the ingredients and all that sort of stuff, the videos and images for affiliates to grab, all that stuff will be inside of the Shoply vendor back office. Big push for e-learning. So we're really continuing down that path because I think that's one thing that sets us apart that not many people are doing. Are there e-learning platforms out there with lots of different courses? Yes. Is there anything there that has an army of influencers that pushes them? No. So we're pushing with some big players to come in, but also the technology, like a school, SKOOL, if anyone's put their course up on school or bought a course from school. So we want the technology to be so simple that someone chooses Shoply to host their course instead of school, instead of ClickFunnels. So the technology will be huge, easy, click, 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 easy to set up, bang, upload, bang, launch with an army. So we're really pushing towards that with technology. I'm speaking to a guy tomorrow that was probably my first hero, probably maybe my second hero in the entrepreneurial world. So when I got given the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki was probably my first hero of going, whoa, there is I felt like I just went like this from high school and walked into another portal of the entrepreneurial world. And I went, this is where I want to be. I want to be an entrepreneur. And Robert Kiyosaki really, through his books and videos and so forth back then, was one of my heroes. But then, getting onto traditional business and reading books, watching webinars, and this guy, I won't tell you who he is, just, he's got to come on board first. But he was a huge, big deal in Australia. He now lives in the US. And I don't think he's a billionaire, but he's a multi-millionaire. Just a really big deal. And he's put everything that he knows, everything he's spoken on stage for the last 2 decades, through all his business coaching and so forth, into digital courses. And so he wants to come on to Shoply and push that. I know that Nick is talking to John Maxwell, which most of you guys will know with leadership. He's a big deal. So we start to get some of these names onto e-learning. The floodgates just open. And next minute, people start to say, hey, if I want to learn something, I go to Shoply and see if they've got it. And then I've got a digital course. I'm going to go onto Shoply and create it. I really think this could be a huge area for us to open up the floodgates and stand out from the crowd. That's really where they're pushing for 2.0 and 3.0. Also, too, this is kind of what I can't tell you the details of, but coming out of that leadership retreat, just trust me when I say there's going to be some serious dollars to make. So if you're kind of sitting on the fence going, let's see what 2.0 looks like. You know what? I might see what 3.0 looks like. Let's see if anyone's making any money. You're going to get left behind a little bit. If you're kind of like, I'll put a little bit of time into it. I can kind of tell you from the end of January, you're going to want to shift, put your phone down and take a very good hard look at Shoply and go, whoa, I need to give this a good 30, 60, 90 days because there is some serious money to be made here above and beyond the current comp plan, above and beyond the current setup that we have. So I hope that gives you a few little hints, but let's just say from the end of Jan onwards, there's some pretty big bonuses up for grabs for people that want to build the business. Let me put it that way. Ridiculously above what the comp plan has right now. So stay tuned for the details on that. What I also love what they're doing, without going into too much details, they're making it really, 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 really affordable to come in as an influencer or influencer pro. They're making it a lot easier to become an influencer pro and make a lot more money really quickly at those levels. So Nick shared with me the sort of structure of how that would look, and it's what we would want just to make our business so much easier, so much duplicatable, where someone just goes, I'm in, and they're in the money, really, really quickly. So I love some of the changes they're making to, if you want to call it the compensation plan, but really just the structure of, the hurdles to come in, make their first dollars, and then duplicate quicker. It's going to be quite sexy, actually. So stay tuned for the details on that coming through after the Miami event. And then we sort of move into Shoply 3.0, right, with the official launch in April, May. I'm trying to get the dates and locations locked in for this for you guys so you can plan. I know there's a couple of people heading over to Miami next week, which is really exciting. Nicolette leading the charge as usual. I'm still trying to get there as well. I don't think I've missed a networking event in my whole career. So it kind of doesn't sit well with me, but it's just a timing thing. So we'll see how we go. But April, May for the launch, this is where we want to get 30 of our team. And I believe it's going to be in Miami as well, but it could be in Dallas or something. But I believe it'll be, Dallas around about the end of April. But let's just see the dates they come up with. And then we're going to really rally. We're going to go over there and party and have a great time and hit the launch. So that's going to be exciting. So that's what we call Shoply 3.0. So, and you guys might have heard on the strategy calls, this new tech push or this new tech partnership. It's interesting because every little hint that they give away, I get onto Google and I have a theory of what this might be, but I dare not say, but it's just a theory from, grabbing some of their clues. But they are partnering with a $150 tech company, a tech partner, which everyone will know of. It's going to put us on the map. It's going to completely change the experience of a shopper, a consumer, an affiliate, a networker, all within the Shoply experience, building, shopping, sharing. It's going to be probably the biggest PR news release in the direct sales industry, maybe in the last decade. It'll get people that follow the industry to turn around and go, say, what now? What a shop. Okay, I've heard about this Shoply thing. I'm ringing Jeff. I'm ringing Nicolette. I'm ringing Joe. I need to find out what the hell they're doing because that's ridiculous. That's how big this news is going to be. So that probably won't come out of Miami information next week. That's going to be more in April, May, Shoply 3.0. But again, you don't want to be sitting on the sidelines waiting for that. So we're going to have lots more upgrades. What they're doing next week compared to April, May is crazy compared to the second half of this year. And, in between now and then, sometimes it can be tricky to build the business. Sometimes it can be frustrating to build the business. Certainly the last 3-4 months, I've actually found it pretty fun and exciting. There's been frustrating moments and perhaps the business is not where you want it to be, but the base that we've set now is so far and above the majority of people that came into Shoply on day one, the people that have quit, the people that are sitting on the sidelines, because we've just been chipping away and it's just been growing and building. The foundations are there. So when it goes, like that hockey stick, we're going to be the front runners and you never look back from that. So I love doing what people aren't doing. When Warren Buffett always talks about sell when people are buying, buy when people are selling, buy when the world is fearful, sell when people are greedy. You kind of balk the trends. And that's what I love doing within this ecosystem. It's really going to set us up. So phases, this is important information to make sure you guys are aware. Australia and Canada are now in phase 3 officially, almost in phase 4, really. So January will require 100 PV to stay qualified as an influencer or influencer pro. So if you're influencer pro, and you're earning money from the matrix, you want to earn money from the Unilevel, from product sales, from your team, from vendors, you will need to have 100 PV, whether that's from a customer. So you can stick your mum on a product. She wants to buy the WOW cleaning products. It's 100 PV. That's fine. You're qualified. You don't need to personally spend money. You can just have 1 or 2 customers that have 100 PV and you're good to go. Otherwise, for me, there's plenty of products that I want to buy for 100 PV anyway. I think I've been buying like 400 PV every month from every vendor launch just because I like the products. But you will need that to stay qualified for January and earn commissions in the compensation plan and to rank advance for your rank and so forth. Really, really important. As we go into phase 4, to rank advance, you'll need all of the different settings. So you'll need a certain amount of customers and so forth. USA is basically phase 5 market based on all the criteria. They just haven't made the official announcement of phase 5, basically just due to the vendor automation. So that may come out sort of after Miami, but US is really a phase 5 market. You guys have required 100 PV for the last couple of months anyway. Europe is phase 3, I think, or close to. Have to just clarify that with a couple of the leaders there, but I think they've got 5 vendors up. And they're launching, new markets like China is catching on now through a few leaders, through the core companies that are from China. They understand live commerce. And so they're really building out phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 in China. Nick's opening up a few countries in South America. So again, don't get left behind with leaders. Start to reach out to your friends, your family, networkers, entrepreneurs that you know in other countries, because we have a roadmap and a blueprint. Hey, do you want to be phase 1? We're looking for leaders, and start to open up those individual countries. We have new vendors. So congratulations to Allison and Charlie and the crew at WOW Cleaning, Wild Organic Ways. They are up and launched. So we launched them last night. And again, I appreciate, and I really, really mean it, I appreciate the people that jump on to these vendor launches, because launching a vendor with 4 people it's almost detrimental to everybody, because the vendor is so excited to come on. They might have expectations of 10,000 people on a Zoom, or 100 or 50 or whatever, but their expectation is not to have 4. So when we're launching with 30, 40, 50, 100 people, it's great. So, whether you're interested in organic cleaning products or not, I don't know why you wouldn't be. It just means you never clean your house or you don't care about your health. But I just appreciate bums on seats on those Zooms, because it supports us, it supports you, it supports Shoply, it supports the vendor. It all comes back around. So well done to everyone that jumped on last night and supported that launch. And let me know if you've jumped on and purchased any of these products yet. I know I have. So I think we've got 8 vendors now that ship to Australia. This is not counting e-learning, although this one here and this one here. So Jeff's is e-learning, Craig's is e-learning, but we have other e-learning there as well. There's also some vendors on there that are software. Actually, some pretty cool software. You guys should jump on. I'll start to do a few vendor spotlights, like live videos in the group as we go. But there's some really cool CRM systems, how to manipulate Google to get on page 1 on that. So all that sort of software and coaching that we can purchase as well. In terms of physical, you can get AQ Skincare Solutions out of Sydney. You got Jeff's course there with AI. Myala Organic we launched. I love those. Well Organic we launched last night. Life FX. Scott Rogers Design Jewelry. Craig's stuff there. Stellamere launches, ships to Australia. So there's 8 there, plus the digital, plus the software. So there's plenty of stuff to keep you busy. Very easy to get 100 PV. Or a customer that can have 100 PV, but they're the Aussie ones at the moment. Sorry, I haven't got the US ones up there, but it's basically everything else. Canada. That's one of the other things I didn't mention. Coming out of Miami next week, we will have flags up on all the vendors. So wherever you ship to, you'll have a flag there. So if you just shipped in Australia, it'll be an Australian flag. If you ship all around the world, it'll be like a global flag. If you just ship into Canada, it'll be a Canadian flag. So you won't have to go on, click on add to cart and see if they ship to you anymore. You'll be able to just see straight away which vendors ship to your country. So that'll be pretty handy as well. Some really important dates, you might want to write them down. The big one is, if we go right down to the bottom here, the 20th of January, which is USA time. So 20th of January, I'll get a time and a link for you soon. But this is the big one. So if you do nothing else and you've got appointments and you're busy and you're traveling and you can't get on anything, please delete everything. If you're in Australia, it's obviously going to be the 21st of January. If you're in the US, it's going to be the 20th of January. Delete everything from that. You want to be on that 2.0 pre-launch Zoom. I would have new prospects on there. I would have your whole team on there. So this is where we make all the announcements that have come out of the leadership retreat from Miami. They'll probably save 1 or 2 new ones just for that launch as well. But this is where you can really, like, if your team that have been sitting on the sidelines, that have dropped out, you get them onto this Zoom, you will re-engage 90% of that team. So that's a huge, huge one. They have to travel anywhere. It's a Zoom. Most likely sometime around this time of day for the Aussie market, probably an evening one in the US. We'll stay tuned. But that is a super important one to block out in your calendar right now. The 16th, 17th, and 18th is for Mic 1s and above. So only Mic 1s and above can head to that leadership retreat in Miami. On the 19th, if you guys do have any big entrepreneurs, affiliates, influencers, unboxers, networkers, that doesn't matter where they live, if they can fly into Miami, head over to Nick's penthouse, trust me, they're going to be impressed. Like, I would be super surprised if you didn't get a multi-million-dollar networker that went to that event that didn't engage, build, and make you $1 million. So think about it, and also get brave over the next few days of, you know what, I kind of do know that guy, but I've never been game enough to reach out to them. Now's the time to reach out, grow a pair, because you just never know where it's going to go. you know, with the guy that I reached out to the other day, he's just like, yep, this is exactly what we've been looking for. Here's all my digital courses. And I'm like, holy crap. And then I said, oh, by the way, we've got an event on in Miami. Yeah, I might go to that. Do they want me to speak at that? And I'm like, Nick, would you like this guy to speak? So it just, sometimes it's just timing. And sometimes they're looking in that space. A lot of the big players are following Gary Vee. What do you think they've been listening to? Live commerce, live commerce, live commerce. Jeff calls them up and said, hey, man, I got this event in Miami coming up. It's in a penthouse with a deck millionaire, Nick Saracoli. You might have heard of him. He's talking about live commerce and direct sales. What are you up to at the moment? Is timing good? Are you in the middle of something? I mean, it's going to be well received if you can pitch it well. If you need me to get on a call with them to bridge that gap, get them to Miami, we can do that, and we can get them in a room with Nick. It'll be like a maximum of sort of 40 people in there. So that is available to everyone, but just let me know so I can vet them, book them in through an online link with Nick, because it's at his personal house, right? That's like one of the biggest buildings in Miami, the penthouse. Like, they'll be impressed. And Nick will do a great presentation, and it's good timing. Like in the beginning, I sort of spoke to everybody. But then with big networkers, you know, over the last 60 days, I probably felt it hasn't been time for them to come and look at Shoply. Now it is. So it's really good timing for those guys to come in and check out 2.0. And then, yeah, we've got the launch, April, May. We'll get the dates for you there. Tech, and that's just game over, right? It's just game over. So, guys, they're the main updates that I wanted to give you today. Oh, I've got 1, 2, 3 people still with their cameras on. Great. Everyone else must be back at work. I tell you what, it's really easy to work out leaders. It's one of the simplest things in the world. Just show up. Guys, any questions that you have, punch through in the chat, or we can unmute you, whatever. Yeah, we'll definitely be at. So, you know, I feel like the leadership in Miami is leadership. So not everyone can be there. It's Mic 1 and above. So it doesn't include everybody. It's kind of not heaps of notice. It's a tricky time of year. I think if you go to it, you're a superstar. If you don't, fair enough. But for the launch, April, May, I think if you don't go to it, you're just not serious. If you do go to it, you're going to the moon. So yeah, we want to get as many of us along. Again, I would just April, May, if you're planning family holidays, put it into June, because we want to all be. I just know what'll happen if we get 30, 40, 50 of us in Miami together in April, May. We'll be the #1 team in the world. Nicolette?
You said that we're in phase 3 now. That is not customers required yet, though. That's phase 4. Is that correct?
Yeah, so phase 4 is customers officially. That's right. But Nick did say on his strategy call, you know, so all customer requirements are in place. But yeah, I think what he meant was for phase 4 markets, which we're really not a phase 4 yet. So if you were to rank a certain amount of volume, but you didn't have the customers yet, I think you'd be fine for January. But you will just need 100 PV. Yeah, so we're not phase 4 yet.
Okay, and what about the vendor licenses? Are they coming in play in January as well, as they all gone live in December?
As in?
As like the monthly payments for the vendors, which then falls through for the PQV as well for us?
Yeah, well, the vendor 79 or 99's always been there. So as long as, you know, they go live 30 days later from that, their 79 or 99 does kick in. And yes, it does count towards your matrix, and it does count towards your volume. Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah. Jeffrey.
Cool, mate. So just maybe just a recap for all of our newbies, especially, and stuff, on how the PV is actually acquired. So we've got, what, 40 points come from our subscription if you're an Influencer Pro.
Right.
So then we're left with 60. That's right, to get our 100 for the lower ranks. As our ranks go higher, that goes higher. How's that 60 accumulated? So it's from our own personal purchases, and is it from our personal customers as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so a customer is anybody who buys anything off of Shoply, is that right?
Correct, that's right. Yep. So exactly what Jeff's saying. If you're an Influencer Pro monthly subscription, it's $39.99. So it's dollar for dollar on the SaaS subscription. So yeah, you will be on 40 PV already. You have been for months, whether you know it or not. If you're on an influencer, you're on 30 PV. So to get the 100 PV, yeah, you're either requiring an extra 60 or 70, which you'll get from product purchases. If you want to go on to the Shoply back office and look at the vendors that we showed you today that are available to ship in Australia, even the digital stuff, underneath the product and price, it'll tell you the QV. So you want to be looking at QV. If you look at QV and it says 70 and you're an Influencer Pro, paying you $40 a month, you'll be at 100. There's a report in your back office that'll tell you what your current qualifying volume is, so you'll know whether you're qualified or not. But yeah, that's where you'll find it. And yes, your personal customers all count towards that. So a personal customer is not an affiliate. It's not an influencer, and it's not an Influencer Pro that buys product. It's literally your mum that comes onto the website that purchases through your link, and she's not signed up as an affiliate or anything. That'll count as a customer, which will also count towards your personal.
Okay. So if the people that I've signed up as Influencer Pros, like directly signed up personally, and they go purchase a product, they're not qualified as personal customers.
Correct. And that won't count towards your QV or your custom account.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Your affiliate customers will, so if you enroll affiliate and that's all they do, they just want to promote products, or they're just going live, and Kim Kardashian signs up 1,000 customers to AQ Skincare, all of those customers would count towards your custom account qualification.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
But they won't count towards your qualifying volume, but your personal customers that you bring in that are purely customers will count towards your custom account and also your qualifying volume for the month. So, for me, I could go and get my mum purchasing 2 skincare products. I don't have to purchase anything for the month. As long as she's purchasing 70 QV, then that would take me to 100. Yeah.
Okay. So just to clarify there, so there is actually like as a marketer, as an Influencer Pro, there's a bit of a push there to help us to bring in other customers for our shop, right? So they become our customers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. I like that. Thank you.
Hey, how long does it take if my downline was to purchase some products? How long does it take for those points to show up in my account?
Instantly. Yeah.
I've got a problem.
I mean, it might be like 60 seconds later or something, but yeah, instantly. Yeah. So as soon as you purchase it, you could pretty much like do a refresh and you'll see it there.
Okay, then. So we've got a problem with my downline. Her points haven't flown through at all.
Okay, maybe it's an understanding of how the report's all done or how it works together. If you want to jump on a quick one-on-one Zoom with me or a call or something to like screen share it or run through the details of that, I can check it out. And if there's any tech glitches in there, we'll just send it straight to corporate and they'll fix it up for you.
Yeah, okay. I've asked her to email corporate, so yeah, we'll see how she goes with that, if you like.
Perfect, no worries. Yeah, usually like 98% of the time, if I can get on a call with someone new, most of the time it's an understanding thing, like, oh, I thought it was this, this, and this. But then the 2% of the time, we can make sure we elevate it to tech and get it fixed up.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
We've had some tech stuff before. So it's not like, I'm saying that's not it, but a lot of the time it's just like, oh, I didn't check out, or oh, that just goes to my personal points, not to my upline points, and think it's just sometimes it's an understanding thing as well. But yeah, happy to get involved and make sure you guys are getting what you should be getting.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Are talking too about possibly when you personally purchase a product, you get the direct bonus. So if there's a 20 dB and you purchase the product, you get $20, which is kind of cool. They're talking about, instead of getting the direct bonus, which you pay tax on, getting a $20 discount. So that would kind of be cool because the net difference on what you're paying is the same. So instead of receiving $20 and paying tax on it, you're just not paying 20. So you're getting a $20 discount. And then it elevates you to say, hey, I'm an Influencer Pro, or I'm an affiliate. Click on my link to get a 20% discount. So you could say that, hey, look, the normal retail price is like $80, but you can get it for like $60. So click on my link, get the discount. And so they're sort of looking to move into that phase. The volume will still go upline, of course, but in your personal purchases, you just get the discount, and then you can send your link to someone so they get the discount. And I think that would really help to drive customers conversion. Financially for us, it's the same, but actually better because you're not paying tax on that. So just so you guys, they are talking about doing that. It sounds like that's the direction they're going to head. Thank you, Joanne. No worries. See you later.
Aaron, I had one more question as well. If we can have a look, I have a couple of things like Joanne said as well, that it's not flowing through, I think, but we can do that one-on-one. The other thing is, I put in the chat as well, there's another American vendor shipping to Australia now because I wanted the product and they didn't ship. So I said, can you just fix it? And they they got that sorted. So Tony and Rhonda with Frequency Factory, the frequency ones, which are very, very good for all your healing and all your inflammation you have in your body, are shipping now 2 products to Australia. Within Australia, it's actually for Melbourne. So yeah, just have a look at that as well. There's a great DB on it as well. That was not correct, so I've asked them to change it as well. That there was a decimal point little error there, so they've opted all up as well. So I think you make like what was it, 200 or 300 direct bonus straight in. So that's a nice product as well to sell, and it's all in the health and well-being sector as well, which most of us are very passionate about. So
awesome. Yeah, they're really good products. And so are they just shipping a big container over to Melbourne, or are they making it in Melbourne, or?
no, they got a distributor in Melbourne. So however they've organized it, they've sorted it.
Nice, very nice. Awesome. So add that one to the list. Frequency. I like it. Cool, guys. Any other questions for me? And so stay tuned. I've got a little bit more of exciting news to share with you. Stay tuned for some news early to mid next week. We're all going to get on a Zoom together and have some fun. Just stay tuned for that. That's all I'll say. But guys, we're all heading in the right direction. Lots of exciting stuff happening. You know where I am to reach out in between. Watch for more vendors, more news. And next week, they're kind of scrapping all of the snapshots, I think, and all of the strategy calls. We're just really, really pushing into leadership event and the 20th. So it's kind of like, I can't even find out about Shoply if I wanted to. What's his 20th? What's his 20th? And just having, 1,000 people on the Zoom on the 20th. Jeff?
Yeah, so we're just doing a bit more like going back to marketing, like how we did the Whisper campaign type style, and really just start driving the whole conversation and drive it to the 20th, right?
Exactly right, brother. Exactly right.
Yep.
So it's exactly like that. It's a brand new, exciting date. We're launching, a new company,
Cool.
blah, blah, blah. And then from there, we'll kick off our snapshots again. So, I can't wait to present the opportunity with all the new add-ons, the new dollars, especially if we have a 30-day run bonus hint. So we'll really kick the snapshots in like big time. Yeah.
You just dropped the ball there, 30-day. Yeah, I'm listening.
which may be permanent. Yeah.
Well, I've got to say, just for the whole team here, whilst I got it, very, very excited for the future. It's awesome to be a part of this journey with you all. I feel like we've sort of won the lottery ticket. It just hasn't paid off yet. And we're just got to strap in and go for the ride.
100%. Well said, mate. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in a couple of days.